All right, Squeeze, are you ready to go find our social media queen?
I am ready.
All right, where is she? Drum roll, please. The social media queen of 2018. Drum roll. There she is. Drum roll. All right. Enough.
Oh man,
Enough. Let's get into questions. We got a lot to do. How are you? Happy New Year. And start asking questions. That's your job. Let's go.
Justin wants to know if your sibling already filed an I-130 that's been approved and the priority date is not expected to become current until 2024. Would Trump's attempted end to family immigration affect the approval of his I-130?
It is very possible. We don't know what Trump is going to do. I can tell you that if he ends certain categories of people, there could possibly be lawsuits against the Trump administration for accepting money, giving a benefit to somebody, which is an approved visa petition. You paid a filing fee for this benefit. And you got the petition approved, and the government said you're on a waiting list for a green card. And to arbitrarily take that benefit away from you, that could be constitutionally challenged. But we don't know what's going to happen. Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay. Joe would like to know, I'd like Brad's opinion on a burning issue. I'm out of status.
Every time someone says it's a burning issue, I think I'm a doctor. You have a burning issue. You have a burning issue. You need to see a doctor. You're asking a lawyer that. You need to see a doctor. All right, what is the burning issue?
The burning issue is this. I'm out of status in the United States, and my son's father is a citizen and filing for him. My question is, would my status affect his paperwork at all?
No. One family member's status has nothing to do with the next.
Mariella wants to know, I have a person who threw out my papers, and it's funny in a way because there is no one is able to find any evidence that I was ever born. A private investigator has been unable. What can I do?
Do you know the hospital where you were born? What you do is the hospital has a hospital record. If you know the state in which you were born, the state has a vital statistic of every birth in the states going back to the 1800s. So each state has that through vital statistics. So unless you were born at home and were never issued a birth certificate, there has to be a record either at the hospital or there has to be a record through vital statistics of that particular state. Unless you were born in the 1700s, that would make you 200 years old. And then, thank God, at that point, who cares? You're 200 years old already.
Right, you don't need it.
You don't need it anymore. Don't worry. All right? Just walk around with your musket and everyone will be,
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Prince wants to know, how safe is traveling with parole?
Safe as long as you have a pending adjustment or a pending case that provides you with parole. It's fine. Don't stay out too long.
All right. Can we bring up Kim's volume a little? For social media.
Yeah, I hear her well, so I think it's from your side, Squeeze.
Okay. I hear her well, but she gets low.
Okay.
It's what Skype does when we talk to each other.
Yes.
Tanisha wants to know, when you get a combo card, work and parole, is it a problem if you travel before your green card interview? Is it going to affect your process?
No, not at all. All fine.
Carolyn wants to know, is it safe for someone...
I love what they call it, guys. Most people call it the combo card. It's like you go to a movie theater, I get the popcorn and the sauce.
I had never heard that before. The combo card. You swear.
Yeah.
Carolyn wants to know, is it safe for someone who's out of status and has a court case for resisting arrest to travel from one state to another by air?
Yes, as long as you haven't been convicted yet, it shouldn't be a problem.
Carly wants to know, my mom came to visit us in the U.S. and stayed for the entire month of December. She wants to come back in March and spend 2 months. Will she have an issue coming back that quickly?
It's possible.
Denicia wants to know, my friend's mom is swearing in today. She filed for him and his 9-year-old daughter in 2012 while she was still a green card holder. How long is it going to take for the both of them, and will his daughter get through with him? And if she's a minor, so she's the granddaughter, if she's a minor, is she going to get citizenship or a green card?
What are they going for?
So the mom is getting sworn in as a citizen today.
Okay. Does the daughter?
She's filing for her adult son and her granddaughter.
All right. So the adult son and the granddaughter, as long as the granddaughter is under 21, will end up with green cards.
Okay.
Right.
Stephanie wants to know, I met someone and got married who has the same last name as me. We aren't related, but he'd like to file for me because we visit each other regularly and would like to start a family.
Bravo.
What's our chance of success?
As long as you're in love, why not? I mean, obviously your birth certificates are going to show different parents. So what's the difference? It's not like you're going to be, you're not going to show your brother and sister.
Right, okay. Bibiana wants to know, what's the difference between unlawful presence and out of status in reference to a student visa?
Huge difference. Unlawful presence is the calculation that's determined if you leave the country, if you have a 3 or 10-year bar. Out of status means you are literally out of status. So on a student visa, for example, out of status means the day you stop going to school and you haven't changed your status to a different status, you're out of status. You're illegal. But you do not have any unlawful presence because the government never told you when to leave the United States on a student visa. So on a student visa, you do not gain any unlawful status till the government writes you a letter saying, get out. That's different than being on a visitor's visa where you fall out of status because the government told you a day to leave the United States when you came into the airport. And so you fall out of status and you gain unlawful presence at the same time. So it depends on the visa you enter on. Sometimes unlawful status, unlawful presence and out of status is the same, and sometimes it's not. And it means two different things, and it's used for two different purposes.
Gotcha.
Aha!
That was involved.
On point.
Squeeze is relaxing, by the way. It looks like he's taking a vacation back there. Squeeze, look at him. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just
chilling.
Chill. I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
You know?
Yeah.
Squeeze is in Jamaica, man. He is kicking back. His vacation is not over yet.
Meanwhile, on New Year's Eve, I post a picture from where I am on New Year's Eve. Squeeze puts on Instagram, he goes, that place is dope. One of my best friends owns it. I'm like, why didn't you tell me this before? I'm posting it as I'm leaving the place, you know?
He did the same thing to me on my birthday.
Yeah.
I said, I went to this club for my birthday. And he's like, oh, you should have told me. My friend owns that club.
Did you go downstairs?
Beforehand, Squeeze.
All right.
Huh?
All right. Did you go downstairs?
We gotta finish this up because we got a lot of calls still. So, do we have any other questions?
We do. Elton wants to know, do I need to go to redo my medical report for my interview? I did it in December 2016, and my interview is scheduled this month.
Okay. One second. Unless you did you file it with the paperwork?
Yes.
Then no, you don't need to. Then you don't need to. Okay. No.
Haynes wants to know, good morning. I've received my work permit and my advanced parole card, combo card. Can I travel to Jamaica and back without a problem?
Yes.
Michael wants to know, how long after you've done your fingerprint when you file for your adjustment will you receive your work permit? And how many months after the work permit do you get
about 2 to 3 months after your fingerprint, you'll get your work permit, and your interview will be about 9 months later.
Jacqueline wants to know, I have a friend who got married in 2011. She got 2 years. She went for her second waiver, and her husband didn't come with her to the interview. She kept getting 1-year extensions, but now she has a court date that's been put off until April 5th. Her lawyer is telling her, leave the country. There's nothing that can be done for her.
Her lawyer's an idiot. She should come speak to me. That's absolutely not true.
Knew that was going to come.
Yeah, I saw that coming as well, Squeeze. Tanisha wants to know, if you were married for 6 months and you get a divorce, how soon can you remarry?
The next day.
And Elena wants to know, can my husband get a divorce without my consent? If so, is there a new addition to the existing law confirming this?
Yes, he doesn't need your consent to get a divorce, but you do have to be provided proper notice and be given notice that you're getting a divorce. There's a difference between getting consent for a divorce and being given notice. That's why, the sheriff with the big hat or a process server comes over and hands you papers. That's being served with divorce papers. That's all that's required. You don't have to sign or consent to it.
Okay. And Theodon wants to know, I have adjusted my status, but I entered the country with my 2-year-old son, and I did not do his adjustment yet. Will it be a problem for my son to do his after my adjustment is completed?
No, not at all.
And Dane wants to know, if you've overstayed your visa, have you violated the terms and conditions of your non-immigrant visa? It's referring to a question on the I-485.
Yes, you have. Yes,
So
you have.
yes, Dane.
Yes, you have.
The answer is yes. Okay.
All right.
We got it through it.
All right.
Got it?
See you at 12.